Oh, well, where's Brian? Dyed-in-the-wool liberal, I never have been. And I don't make any, you know, I'm not trying to keep that secret or anything to please the liberals to think that I was for years NDP. And I still have a lot of time for their socialist policies. But the Liberals have always known enough, at least, to take NDP policies and turn them into government. That's true. The old age pension of the health program, you know, it's all there. So what interests me now is the fact that I think Canada is in a very precarious position in our relationship to the United States. And I think the militarization that's going on now is very dangerous for Canadian sovereignty. And so I think the time has come when we all have to do a lot of rethinking about policy, Brian, and about where we're going and about what we want to do. And I come primarily from the standpoint that I love Canada, and I want it to be something like the Canada I grew up in, the Canada I once knew, and I don't think it is with the Harper government. And I think as long as we have that Harper government, and if they get in again, we're all in deep, deep trouble. So it's time to change our stripes. It's time to get together. And I'm sorry in a way that we haven't got Green people joining us and NDP people joining us. Now maybe before elections called and we really have to go to work, Brian, to get you down into Ottawa, we can get some of those people on side. Because the only way we're going to get rid of Harper is to pull together as cooperative Canadians and get the Liberal Party back in power. Because the other thing, as well as having Briony down there, is to have someone like Stephen Dion. And I think he has integrity, and I think he's very intelligent, and I think he's worth working for and voting for. So Briony, that's mine.
Thank you, Margaret. Who is the coordinator of Save Salt Spring Island Rainforest Appeal.
Oh.
Maureen?
Hi, well, we just saved a portion of rare temperate rainforest on Salt Spring Island. We raised over $1 million in 6 months.
Wow.
And Briony was an important part of that land saving experience. Briony was the person that we could always call upon to find out something, because not only does Briony know how the natural world works as a living system, but Briony knows just about how everything works. So if you have a question that you need an answer to, you can simply I don't know what to do, let's call Briony. Briony participated in the biodiversity blitz so that we had a team of scientists to establish that this land was rare, was worth saving, was a refuge to many endangered creatures, and Briony was right there.
It all began around my kitchen table. I was a member of the Liberals and aware, along with my son, who was having dinner with me one night, that we needed to find a good Liberal candidate who would appeal to Southbringers and see what Sanders thought of him or her. See? And my son, listening to this, little bit of pie in the sky, said, well, you know, unless you get somebody who's greener than the Greens, there's no hope of Southbringers. So we thought, who do we know who's greener than the Greens? So a week later, Briony, I really want to thank you for your commitment to the Liberal Party and your understanding that the future of Canada is the Liberals to create.
To say big thank you to Briony, because it is a really long time, longer than any of us thought. And in a way, I'm grateful for how long it's taking before the election is happening, because it does give us time to do what Margaret was talking about, which is convince people in other parties that in this riding in particular, at least, we would do very well to vote for Briony. And it is, I think most people here would know that actually all 3 opposition parties wanted her to run for them. And in a way, I'm a former NDP. I actually ran for the NDP once. I wasn't even a member when I was asked to run. It was in rural Nova Scotia, and they needed someone badly. And I've also been asked, and of course Margaret has supported the NDP, so I think actually, well, I know there are many people whose traditional allegiances in this riding they're putting them aside in order to support the Liberal Party. And it's quite exciting because we have a chance to actually have an effect, I think, through the Liberal Party in a way. This is a real chance. And
I see this as a crusade. They're coming from the left to slay those on the right in the great middle ground, which is called liberalism. And I think we can win this battle for the first time since I've been here, which is what, 20 odd years, 25 years now. For the first time, I think we've got a candidate, if we all get together, I think we've got a candidate that can knock down that 5,000 votes we've lost by in the last 5 or 6 times out, saying, Ms. Penn, you're the best candidate we could possibly get, and we think you're going to win. Hang in there.
So this is for you, Briony. I was inspired to get into politics because of you, and I understand that it's a hard road, it's a long road, and I will work as hard for you as I can, as long as you keep running. So stay in there. I want you as my MP. And I know Jeremy, I met Jeremy through Briony's campaign as well, and his dedication to Briony is notable, and I had to bring him up with me.
The first reason I actually started to work on this campaign was because of my inspiration coming from Stefan Dino. I wasn't a Liberal before, and I was actually an NDPer, and I worked with Olivia Chow in Toronto's Spadina. And when I knew that Harper got in government, I was really depressed about what was happening. And I needed to see some hope, and so I knew there was a Liberal leadership convention happening, and I wanted to see who was going to step up to the plate and who was going to be the next possible leader of our country. And when I saw Stefan Dion, I was blown away, and I haven't looked back since then. And after he won, I was wondering, what can I do next? And then I looked around and I saw Briony.
Mr. Sheriff, I stopped in to see David Kelly, and I want to make this special. Makes you David, but you're somewhere. We're waiting for that election, but boy, if nothing else, what that solidified for me was what an incredible group of people. This circle of people that have come around to support. I guess we're all supporting one another because we're all here for the same reason. And I don't feel so much I'm encircled, I'm just part of this circle. I think the terror that I've experienced during this year is that I'm not, you know, it's such a privilege to be representing you, and the need to be up for the job. And that's been the challenge for me. It's a big job, but just having this incredible circle around me has made the difference between, I think.
That, you know, we've got to be realistic about what's ahead of us. I have lying on my desk at home a letter from the Liberal Party from Ottawa asking for money. I'm quite prepared to give them money and have given them some money, but I'm not going to give it unless I can earmark it for your campaign. Because if we're going to get you elected, we're all going to have to dig very deep.